Welcome to Center Heights Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. Thank you to my subscribers and viewers. Please share it with your friends and family. That helps the channel grow and grow, go into a good direction as we've got a strong community and a good um, atmosphere on this particular channel with our crew of followers is quite respectful of one another, and that's what we promote here on this channel. So leave your comments at the end of each video. There, we like hearing them. Also, again, we take great pride in not promoting gossip or rumors, which it seems like an awful lot of podcasts like to leap all over that. I will. I take great pride in not going down that road. I'd rather wait to report on factual information as it falls. Instead, I'm not into the gossip chain just to get views. And we don't use clickbait here as well to get you here. All right, let's get to it. I'm sorry, this one's a little late, but you'll have the last night's game coming as well with the Sens. But anyway, on Tuesday, the Habs played the Leafs. Leafs were in town, and boy, is trouble in Leafland for sure. You could tell by this game. Anyway, we'll get to it and we'll talk more about it after I give you the stats, the scoring. First period, Montreal comes out with 2-0 on the Leafs. Leafs come back with a goal. No scoring for Montreal in the second. And in the third, Montreal adds an empty netter to defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1. Okay, let's go to some more stats. And we'll get right to it. Okay, we had, this was very odd, that Montreal dominated in this and the Leafs were so low. Not often do you get a game where the Habs face so few shots. Anyway, 18-33 for the Habs in shot department. 23 hits to 20 for the Leafs. Face-offs 29-28 for the Leafs. They were 50.9, and the Canadians were 49.1, which is pretty darn close in the face-off department. They each had 2 power play opportunities. Neither team could score on their power plays. Percentile was 0. No shorthanded goals, 4 penalties apiece, 11 penalty minutes apiece. Block shots were 18-15 for Montreal, and takeaways were 8-3 for Montreal. Giveaways were 12-11 for the Leafs. And now we'll get to your scoring. Okay, this is how the game unraveled. In the first period, we had a great, beautiful goal in front with Kapanen just always knowing where to be in the front of the net and putting it home as he was in front of the net for the rebound. The pass from Newhook and Demidov, and great setup, beautiful goal and he also hit a milestone there. And so looked good on Kapanen, who has been a beautiful surprise. That came at 4:46 of the first period. Philip Deneau added one at 14:41 with a gorgeous goal. He was in front of the net as well. Caden Gooley, Lane Hudson made the pass to Gooley. Gooley put it in front, or Dan Deneau banged it in. Or Deneau, sorry. And so that gave you a 2-0 lead, which was a strong first period for Montreal. Toronto, however, would put on a little bit of pressure, but Dobes stood tall. 14:33, Nylander scores, of course, by an error on Montreal's defense. And Cowan got the assist. Cowan had a strong game for the Leafs. That was at 14:33. And then in the third period, 19:32, Montreal finally gets in a position where they don't blow a lead. And this is a great stepping point for them. It's something they needed to happen. Great play by Mike Matheson to take that dive and knock the puck away, winning the foot race so that it would go up the ice in front of Jake Evans, who won the battle with Cowan, showed that he could outmuscle and puts the puck in the empty net. Gorgeous play all the way around. The strength of Evans showed very much how solid he was on his skate. He won the physical battle on that. 1932. Just a great effort from the boys. They played a solid game. They definitely outplayed the Leafs horrendously in this game. The Leafs just, this was a disgraceful effort. You can tell that they have dismantled and look like they're tanking. No leadership there, though, other than this is what you get for putting the C on Austin Matthews. I think that it's so bad they got to rebuild. They had their 10 years and they didn't capitalize because of the selfish players like Austin Matthews, who, again, this is not a leader. Just because you're one of the second highest paid player in the league doesn't make you a captain. Not good captain material, and this team shows they're not united. They've given up on the coach. That's evident, and I feel sorry for Craig Berube. Very good coach. So he'll wear it. I'm sure there's a firing coming up, and he'll wear what the team. I think hockey, all sports should change a bit and start putting the onus on the athletes because this is bullshit. Sorry to say it that way, but coaches always end up wearing it. And what the Leafs need is a rebuild. They need to get that poison attitude out of there. Letting go Marner, I think, was the wrong move. I think when Nylander's contract was up a few years back, they should have made a move and traded him out because the timing would have been right. Now, however, I think Matthews is the problem child. Uh, you know, I think I would have traded in my choice Matthews over all of them. I don't care how darn uh, how elite they put him as. I don't think he's half the hockey player that he's made. Oh yeah, he can score, got a good shot. His work ethic stinks. His attitude stinks, and I honestly think you're going to see him get traded to Utah over the summer. Um, Leafs got to need a rebuild bad, and it's such a shame because Matthew Nyes just has not looked good this year, and that's showing the state of the Leafs really, because really the blessings are Nyes and Cowan. One more player, I can't remember his name, looked good there too, but the Leafs got nothing in this in the cupboards, so they got to rebuild. And I think you're going to see Matthews get moved. I think you're going to see some serious movement. And it's interesting to note that they actually had Nyes on the market at the trade deadline, and I think they did it just to get a value of him. They'd be crazy to trade him. However, it was nice to hear that Montreal was probably the top team that was very close to making a deal. We'll see if there's that's what the rumors are, and like I said, I don't like to go with rumors, but we'll see if that goes anywhere over the summer because boy, he's just the answer. If they feel that they want to get some value back, I think Montreal's in a position to now start trading some of their draft picks. They don't need to draft as many players, so they could trade those and trade a few players on the roster that they're going to have to move out, no doubt about it. So I think if there's any truth to it, I would. They say that probably at the end of the season, we'll hear. I mean, I think Toronto would be nuts to get rid of Nyes. I don't think it's. I think it's false information, in my opinion. However, I think it was just to get a value of him. But if there was a way Montreal could pull off that, he's the perfect answer to what they need as a top six player. And I don't think Nyes. I think he'd get his game back fairly quick because I think it's the poison that's so-called leadership in Toronto is the problem. But anyway, for Montreal, this was a great victory, and it was a great step where they actually, because they've been blowing leads and not being able to hold on in the last 2 minutes in a lot of games when they're close and the team gets back in, either wins in overtime or whatever, but they always let them in. So this was a good step. And Dobes stood out. There wasn't many shots on him, but he was strong, solid game, and he's been solid last couple games. Good to see a good bounce back from the San Jose game, his LA game, and this game. So good, solid goaltending. He stood out. He was one of the big reasons the saves he made when he had to make them were solid. And Slavkovsky really stood out for Montreal. Um, he was another part of the driving force. He's been playing some very good hockey, and imagine what it'll be when he gets a stronger. Get physical wise, he's going to be something to what a talented team this Canadians team is. But anyway, that's it. 3-1. We get to beat our arch rivals. Good win because this is in your division. I've been saying that they got to get more wins in their division. This can't. The Leafs. This is crazy to think a team that was so stacked is going to miss the playoffs. But it sounds like they're, looking at them, it looks like their window's over. And yeah, they got to clean this mess up and start over. Way to go, Habs. Great game, and then we will be back to you. Thank you for watching, seeing here at Center Heights Productions, where the puck drops first. We will catch you in the following video with the Senators, Montreal at Ottawa.